Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Facebook's meltdown, the biggest meltdown in stock market history. I think they lost $200 million overnight. Amazon had to post good financials. So we could see, you know what? That's just a Facebook issue, not market-wide. Well, we see Amazon came firing out of that rut they were in. Before their financial reports came out, they were down almost 8%. And guess what? Amazon really had miserable financial reports. They missed earnings. Their guidance is awful. But for whatever reason, the market really responded positively. And we see that price flying up. I think that'll be good enough. We should see the market continue onwards and upwards. And thankfully, I don't think it's going to spill over into cryptocurrencies. That's really what we were concerned about. It's a really strange market here. Again, Amazon missed on every important metric, showing, bad growth going through this year, and still you saw what happened. That price came firing out. I don't know what to tell you other than I think we're going to see inflation of assets throughout this year no matter what, and I think this is exactly what we see there. Now, you see I've changed my name to Jungle Link Meta, but I've made this point a couple times now. We see Meta's Metaverse division, Reality Labs, reports more than $10 billion loss for 2021. You don't want to go pouring all your money into everything named Meta. We are so early. Yes, this is going to be massive. The metaverse is really blockchain. It's really, internet technologies, all of this stuff weaved together into really this global system of the future. But this is the deal. It's going to take us a while to get there. And you're going to see a lot of failures along the way. You just want to keep your eye on this space as it develops, as real products and services really develop. Most people are, YOLO their money into this space, lose everything, and then fall asleep at the wheel. Just make sure you pay attention. Again, gaming, all of that stuff. It's going to be massive. It all incorporates within blockchain, but you can't get out of control. Who knows who's eventually going to win this space, who the winners are going to be. There's going to be a ton of losers. And if you just keep your head in the game here and pay attention, you should be able to pick off some big gainers as we work through the next decade plus. This is going to be an area we see mature into $1 trillion a year in cash flow, but it ain't happening tomorrow. Now, interesting quote by Jeremy Hogan. He's talking about if this thing goes to summary judgment, we see the following. Price correlation will certainly be an issue in the Ripple case at summary judgment, and I think it's going to be difficult for the SEC to explain to the judge. P.S. This case has ruined so many things for me, including my late night reading. This is what really I think Jeremy Hogan is saying. If the market is really relying on Ripple, if we are looking to Ripple for value, well, why has XRP really been at Ripple's worst moment? They're being sued. They're really being handcuffed here in the United States. They're being really pushed down. We know IPO is farthest away it could be because they're in the middle of a massive lawsuit with the SEC. And if you add up the average price of XRP, it has never been higher. Yeah, we're at 60 cents right now, but we've been as high as $2. We were, over $1 for the longest time in XRP's history. So if you're trying to say that all investors are looking at Ripple and relying on Ripple's efforts in order to build value, well, where's the proof of that? Where are we seeing that, XRP's value? It should correlate easily, and it's not an easy one to show. Yes, when the court case against Ripple was initially launched, we saw this big sell-off. We all know as XRP investors, the price has been suppressed, no doubt. But if you're going to stand up there in court and tell a judge, well, look, investors are relying on Ripple's actions, you also have to explain, well, how come XRP is at its highest average price we've ever seen for quite some period of time? It's going to be a really tough one. Now, the last thing I want to show you here, this is really important. This is the Federal Reserve and how the Fed ties into Ripple and really the financial system of the future as they usher this in. We see the following. Move towards digital dollar gains steam as Boston Fed says its prototype can handle 1.7 million transactions per second. It's no secret that the Fed, that the United States government, they want to take us to a cashless society. That way they can track, trace, and monitor, all of our transactions. It's also going to help, lower the tax gap. They can see everything that's going on. If you make $1, they're going to see it. There's no off-ledger transactions like we see now with cash. They want to end it for a lot of reasons, really. And it's going to be more efficient, lower costs. There's a lot of benefits to government and business to go cashless, and we're going there. Again, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to be a transition period, maybe a decade and a half. it's going down, and the Federal Reserve, they understand this, and trust me, they are working with Ripple. But look at this. Who are they working with on this prototype? This is also interesting. It doesn't matter. Just like my buddy DM Logic said, in any rock you overturn, you're going to find Ripple under there. Look at this. MIT and the Federal Reserve in this collaboration have shown technological viability of a Fed-backed digital dollar, also known as central bank digital currency. And look at this. The system they have supposedly can do 1.7 million transactions per second. According to the white paper released Thursday, that's 2.5 times the number of transactions Visa can handle with its network. Furthermore, the vast majority of these transactions were settled in less than 2 seconds. A tantalizing result for users in the U.S. banking system, which can force customers to wait days before fund transfers are settled. Now, this is what's so interesting. We know the Federal Reserve, of course, Faster Payments Task Force, all of that has worked with Ripple, great. But who has funded the MIT blockchain department? The department that Gary Gensler, the SEC, used to head. Who was one of their big contributors? Ripple. They gave millions of dollars to MIT to go out there and build blockchain systems. And I know people are going to say, hey, these are domestic transactions. I still say those are going to, be routed through RippleNet for a lot of reasons. But beyond that, any great domestic system in the future is going to have capabilities of going international. You have to link up with international payments. It's just the wave of the future as we go to this really globalized economy. There's not going to be any more just domestic payments. Payments are going to need to go wherever they're sent, and they're going to have to go there in real time. And so as we see the Federal Reserve with their eye on a fully digital dollar, it's going to happen. The Fed is going to demand that it happens. They're going to cut costs. Government's going to get all the tracking and tracing and monitoring that they need. And think of all the statistics they will also get off of this. Not just from figuring out, all right, you owe XYZ in taxes, but just what are people spending their money on? Where's the money going? There's so much stuff they're going to do with this. Now, I'm not saying I like that kind of thing. I'm not saying that's the future that I would want most of all, but that's the future you're going to get, whether you like it or not. All of your payments are going to be, routed through these digital networks, and they're going to track, trace, and monitor every single penny you make and spend. It's just a fact of life. Ripple is going to be part of that system of the future. The Federal Reserve, big institutions like MIT, JP Morgan Chase, they are building this out. They are going to roll out the new financial system. It's not an overnight thing, but man, it is coming on quick.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.